The 2024 election looms large. Could Donald J. Trump, the 45th president, make a triumphant return to the Oval Office? Some view him as a savior, others as a threat to democracy. Regardless, Trump has left an indelible mark on American politics. Could Trump win again? Donald John Trump, born into wealth in Queens, New York. From real estate deals to reality TV, Trump craved the limelight. The Apprentice catapulted him to new fame, honing his skills as a showman. This reality TV stint laid the groundwork for his audacious pursuit, the presidency. Little did anyone know this was just the beginning. In 2015, Trump, the businessman and reality TV star, entered the presidential race. His campaign was unconventional, bypassing traditional media and speaking directly to the people. "Make America Great Again" became a rallying cry. His supporters saw a disruptor, his detractors saw a demagogue. The 2016 election became a referendum on Trump himself. The 2016 election cycle was unconventional. Trump shattered political norms with every tweet and rally. His rallies drew massive crowds, and his every utterance became headline news. Opponents struggled to keep up, underestimating his appeal. The red "Make America Great Again" hats became a symbol of defiance. Trump's campaign resonated with those feeling ignored and left behind. They were tired of political correctness and empty promises. His message of economic nationalism and hardline stance on immigration appealed to their desire for security. His outsider status was seen as an asset. They saw him as a successful businessman who would bring that acumen to the White House. Trump's rallies became cultural phenomena. He tapped into anger and resentment, giving voice to those feeling silenced. His message was simple and emotionally powerful. The media's criticism only strengthened his bond with his base. His supporters saw him as a threat to the establishment. Election night 2016 defied expectations. Trump, the political novice, was on the verge of becoming the 45th president. The meticulously crafted narratives crumbled. Red states now represented a rejection of the establishment. Cheers erupted at Trump Tower as the magnitude of their accomplishments sank in. Trump's presidency was unconventional. His use of social media to bypass traditional outlets was unprecedented. His policies, often enacted through executive orders, were disruptive. He withdrew from international agreements and imposed tariffs. His supporters saw him as a man of action, challenging the status quo. Trump's impact on the Republican Party was seismic. He transformed it into a party aligned with his populist, nationalist politics. He energized a segment of the electorate feeling ignored. He attacked fellow Republicans deemed insufficiently loyal. This transformation reshaped the ideological landscape of American conservatism. Trump's influence on American politics remains palpable. His brand of populist nationalist politics continues to resonate. His focus on immigration, trade, and national identity strikes a chord. His rhetoric and policy priorities have been adopted by other Republicans. The forces that gave rise to Trumpism will continue to shape American politics. Was Trump's presidency transformative or a fleeting aberration? He appointed 3 conservative justices, enacted tax cuts, and rolled back regulations. He lost the popular vote twice and was impeached twice. His presidency was marked by chaos, scandal, and division. Only time will tell the ultimate legacy of his presidency. The economy and the American worker. As the 2024 election cycle begins, the economy takes center stage. Trump will highlight his pre-pandemic economic record. Expect to hear "Make America Great Again" echoing through rallies. The American worker will be his target audience. He'll address job security and rising costs of living. Trade deals and unfair practices, especially with China, will be key points. The message is clear. I feel your pain. I alone can fix it. Immigration, borders, and the politics of fear. Immigration, a perennial hot-button issue in American politics, is sure to be a cornerstone of Trump's 2024 campaign. Expect a return to the hardline rhetoric that defined his previous campaigns and presidency. The border wall, a potent symbol of his stance on immigration, will likely be front and center. He'll tout its effectiveness, despite evidence to the contrary, and promise to further secure the border, painting a picture of a nation under siege. The issue of illegal immigration will be framed, as it was before, as a national security threat, a drain on resources, and a threat to American jobs and culture. He'll likely demonize undocumented immigrants, linking them to crime and violence and stoking fears of a nation overrun by outsiders. His message will resonate with those who feel anxious about cultural change, demographic shifts, and the perceived erosion of traditional American values. He'll offer himself as the protector, the strongman who will stand up to the forces of chaos and restore order. It's a divisive strategy, one that plays on fear and resentment, but also one that has proven to be effective in mobilizing his base and swaying undecided voters in key swing states. The cultural landscape of America has shifted dramatically in recent years, and Trump, never one to shy away from a fight, is sure to wade into the culture wars with his signature brand of bombast and provocation. Expect him to position himself as the defender of traditional values, the champion of the silent majority who he believes are under attack by the forces of political correctness and woke culture. He'll likely target issues like critical race theory, transgender rights, and abortion, framing them as existential threats to the American way of life. His rhetoric will be inflammatory, designed to provoke outrage and mobilize his base. He'll accuse his opponents of being radical leftists, who are out of touch with the values of everyday Americans. His message will resonate with those who feel like their values are under attack, who are nostalgic for a simpler time, and who are suspicious of cultural change. He'll offer them a sense of belonging, a community of like-minded individuals who are united in their opposition to what they perceive as the excesses of liberalism. It's a strategy that has proven to be effective in dividing the electorate and energizing his base, even if it comes at the cost of further polarizing the country. On the global stage, Trump will likely reprise his role as the unconventional leader, the disruptor who upends established norms and pursues an America First agenda. Expect a return to his transactional approach to foreign policy, one based on bilateral deals and a disdain for multilateral institutions. He'll likely boast about his relationships with authoritarian leaders, touting his ability to broker deals and project American strength. NATO, which he has previously criticized as obsolete, could once again find itself in his crosshairs. He may question its relevance in the 21st century and threaten to withdraw American support, sending shockwaves through the alliance. His approach to China, marked by tariffs and accusations of unfair trade practices, is unlikely to soften. He'll likely continue to paint China as an economic and geopolitical threat, promising to take a hard line and protect American interests. His foreign policy, much like his domestic agenda, will be characterized by a mix of isolationism and aggressive unilateralism. He'll promise to put America first, even if it means alienating allies and disrupting the global order. It's a vision of America that is both appealing and unsettling, one that promises to restore American greatness, but also risks further isolating the country on the world stage. The Republican primary promises to be a spectacle for the ages. A cast of ambitious hopefuls, each vying for the chance to lead the party into the 2024 election, will take the stage. Some will be familiar faces, seasoned politicians with established records and loyal followings. Others will be fresh faces, political outsiders hoping to capture the same lightning-in-a-bottle energy that propelled Trump to victory in 2016. The stakes are high, the competition fierce, and the outcome far from certain. The question on everyone's mind: who will emerge from the fray as the standard-bearer of the Republican Party? One thing is for sure, the shadow of Donald Trump will loom large over the entire primary process. His endorsement, should he choose to give it, will carry immense weight with the Republican base. Candidates will be forced to navigate a delicate balance, appealing to Trump's loyal supporters without alienating moderate Republicans and independent voters who may be turned off by his brand of politics. The battle lines will be drawn early, and the attacks will be swift and relentless. Debates will be must-see TV, as candidates spar over policy, ideology, and perhaps most importantly, their fealty to the former president. Among the early contenders, several figures stand out. Mike Pence, Trump's former vice president, is a known entity within the Republican Party. His loyalty to Trump earned him respect, but certifying the 2020 election results alienated some. Mike Pompeo, Trump's former Secretary of State, has significant foreign policy experience. Known for his hawkish views, Pompeo's close association with Trump could be a liability. Can they embrace Trumpism without alienating moderate voters? Ron DeSantis, the current governor of Florida, has emerged as a potential frontrunner in the Republican primary. DeSantis, a staunch conservative who rose to prominence by embracing many of Trump's policies and positions, has positioned himself as a younger, more electable version of the former president. His handling of the COVID-19 pandemic in Florida, which emphasized personal freedom and a rejection of lockdowns and mask mandates, has endeared him to conservatives who chafed at government restrictions. However, his close association with Trump, coupled with his own brand of combative, often divisive rhetoric, could alienate moderate voters in a general election. DeSantis faces a delicate dilemma: how to appeal to Trump's base without becoming beholden to the former president, who could easily turn on him if he perceives any disloyalty. The relationship between these two men, one a rising star and the other a political kingmaker, will be fascinating to watch as the primary unfolds. The prospect of a Trump-DeSantis showdown, should it come to pass, would be a political earthquake, splitting the Republican Party and captivating the nation. It would be a battle for the soul of the party, a clash between two generations of conservative leadership, and a testament to the enduring power of Trumpism in American politics. On the Democratic side, the stakes are high. President Joe Biden may seek re-election, but his age and approval ratings raise questions. Vice President Kamala Harris could be the nominee if Biden doesn't run. However, she faces criticism on issues like immigration. Other contenders may emerge from governors, senators, and activists. The party seeks a candidate with a clear vision for the future. The primary will be a battle between progressives and moderates. The outcome will shape the Democratic Party and American politics. The 2024 election is still 2 years away, but the battle lines are drawn. The stakes are high and the world is watching. Buckle up, America. It's going to be a bumpy ride. The domestic fallout. The prospect of a second Trump presidency sends shockwaves through American society. The nation braces for another tumultuous chapter, deeply polarized along political, social, and ideological lines. Divisions have festered, leaving many wondering if unity is attainable. Trust in institutions has eroded, leaving many disillusioned. The prospect of a Trump victory is met with elation and despair. The future remains uncertain, a source of anxiety and hope. The economy a house divided? The economic implications of a Trump return are a subject of intense debate. His supporters anticipate a return to prosperity with lower taxes and deregulation. They envision a resurgence of manufacturing and a revitalized energy sector. Critics point to the widening wealth gap and the impact of trade wars. They fear policies benefiting the wealthy over the middle class. A Trump presidency could create both opportunities and challenges globally. Global repercussions alliances tested. The world watches with a mix of fascination and trepidation as the possibility of a Trump comeback takes shape. His first presidency strained alliances and questioned the U.S. global role. A second term would face a more complex world with rising China, assertive Russia, and ongoing global challenges. The transatlantic relationship could face further strain, forcing European leaders to recalibrate their approach. Section 4. America's place in the world, uncertainty reigns. The prospect of a second Trump presidency raises profound questions about America's place in the world. Would he continue to pursue an America-first agenda, prioritizing American interests above all else? Or would he moderate his approach, recognizing the need for cooperation and diplomacy? The world holds its breath, watching and waiting to see how a potential Trump presidency would reshape the global landscape. The verdict of history. From the boardrooms of New York City to the Oval Office and back, his impact on American society is undeniable and enduring. Whether viewed as a disruptor, a showman, or a champion of the forgotten man, his presidency left an unmistakable mark. His supporters remain fiercely loyal. His detractors view his presidency as an aberration, a dangerous detour from American democracy. The verdict of history on Donald Trump's presidency is still being written. The question of whether Donald Trump could win the 2024 election remains a topic of intense speculation and debate. The political landscape is constantly shifting. The economy will undoubtedly play a significant role. The state of the job market and inflation will weigh heavily on voters' minds. The political climate is likely to remain contentious. Healthcare, immigration, climate change, and social justice will continue to be hotly debated. The outcome could hinge on mobilizing the base and persuading undecided voters. The global stage will also shape the election. The war in Ukraine, the rise of China, and climate change will present significant challenges. Voters will seek a leader with experience, temperament, and vision. The future is unwritten. The 2024 election will be pivotal. Choices made by voters will have profound consequences. America at a crossroads, a call to action. The future of American democracy depends on the active engagement of its citizens. Stay informed, engage in respectful dialogue, hold our leaders accountable, and exercise our right to vote. Resist division and polarization. Reject the politics of fear and anger. Embrace empathy, compassion, and respect. The American spirit of resilience and innovation will see us through. The future is something we create. Let us create a future worthy of our aspirations. The time for action is now. Let us know in the comments what you think. Could Trump win again?